Maliki yawmiddin, master of the day of recompense. This is also why Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, because he is the master of the day of recompense. Maliki, as I told you, is from the root letters Mim, Lam, Kaf, and Malik is used for someone who has complete authority as well as ownership of something. So what does it mean? That the Malik is someone who is the greatest in rank, in degree, in power. There is no one who is above him. You understand? Who is Malik? The one who is above all others in importance, in authority, in power, in excellence, in virtue, in every way. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the Malik of Yawmiddin, day of recompense. What is the day of recompense? It's the day of judgment. But tell me something. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not Malik of dunya as well? Is He not? Does He not own this dunya and those who are in it? Of course. Does He not have complete authority to do whatever He wants? Of course He does. So why is it said Maliki Yawmiddin only here? Why do you think so? Yes. Okay, good. That we see a correlation between Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim and Maliki Yawmiddin, that you recognize your Lord as the one who is very merciful, but at the same time don't forget that He is also the master of the day when you'll be recompensed. Don't get deceived because of His generosity. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhal insan, ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. That we see that in this dunya, there are many people who claim to be Malik as well. Isn't it? So many Malik, so many kings, so many leaders, so many people who have ownership of one thing or the other. One person is an owner of a huge piece of land, huge property. Another person has a lot of authority. But we see that all of this authority that people have in this dunya will finish. And the ownership of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will become very, very manifest on the Day of Judgment. The presidents of this dunya will not be presidents in the hereafter. People who have property, ownership today, they cannot carry on their ownership and property to the Day of Judgment. Isn't it so? Why? Because on the Day of Judgment, this dunya will be finished. A person may be the richest person in this world, but on the Day of Judgment, if he doesn't have good deeds, then what is he? Nothing. He has nothing. مَا أَغْنَى عَنِّي مَالِيَهْ هَلَكَ عَنِّي سُلْطَانِيَهْ. My wealth did not benefit me, and my sultan, my authority, I've lost it. So the wealth, the authority that people have in this dunya, it will finish. But on the Day of Judgment, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's authority and ownership will be visible. This is why we learn in the Quran, in Surah Ghafir, ayah 15 to 17, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, لِمَنِ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ لِمَنِ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ. To whom does mulk belong to today? To whom does authority belong to today? No one will dare to respond. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will respond Himself, لِلَّهِ الْوَاحِدِ الْقَهَّارِ. To Allah, the one, Al-Qahhar, the irresistible. So on the Day of Judgment, His authority will be most visible, most manifest. Because in this dunya what happens is, we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the master, He is the owner, right? But we tend to forget that. We tend to forget that. Why? When we see the rich and the powerful in this dunya today. This is why when we see the rich and powerful, we get afraid of them. And we forget fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is why we obey them and we disobey Allah. Isn't it so? Think about it. Isn't it so? So, Maliki Yawmiddin, master of the day of recompense. Now the word ad-deen, what does it mean? Recompense. The Day of Judgment has many different names. Yawmul Qiyamah, Al-Qari'ah, Al-Akhirah, Yawmul Akhir, the last day, Yawmul Hisab, the day of accounting, At-Tabmatul Kubra, Yawmul Hasra, the day of regret. So the Day of Judgment has many, many different names. Over here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word Yawmiddin. The word deen is from Dal Ya Noon. Dana Yadinu. And Dana Yadinu is to give someone recompense for what they have done. What is recompense? Payback. So if a person has done well, if a person has done good, you reward them for their good action. And if someone has done bad, then how would you pay them back for their action? With reward or punishment? Punishment. So Yawmuddin, it's the day when people will be rewarded or they will be punished. And how will they be rewarded or punished? According to their actions. If a person has done good, he will see that good. If a person has done bad, he will see that bad. If a person has done a little good, he will see that little good. If a person has done a lot of good, he will see that good. If a person has done a little evil, he will see that little evil. And if a person has done a lot of evil, he will see that too. He will see that too. What does this ayah show to us? What does this show to us? Maliki Yawmuddin. When you think about Yawmuddin, what do you understand? That we should be careful about every action we do. Every action we do will be paid for it. We'll be held accountable for it. We will be recompensed for it. We haven't been sent in this dunya without any reason. We haven't been sent to this dunya without a purpose. No! Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala questions us. أَيَحْسَبُ الْإِنسَانُ أَن يُتْرَكَ سُدًى in Surah tul Fatiha, Ayat 36. That does man think that he will be left neglected? Meaning no one's going to hold him accountable for what he's doing, what he's saying, how he's behaving? Does he think like that? What he thinks is wrong. Because every single person will be held accountable for what he or she is doing. Therefore we should worry. We should really worry about the words we say. We should really be careful about the actions we do. We should be very concerned about how we talk to other people, how we deal with them. Because for every action we are going to be recompensed, we are going to be paid for it. So Maliki Yawmuddin, Master of the Day of Recompense.
Maliki Yawmuddin.